What's up YouTube? It's Coach Cory, and today we got some crazy cool ideas for this upcoming December Brawl Stars update. We're talking new gadgets, new brawler, new modifiers, even club improvements. Let's do it. Alright, but what about some extra modifiers to spice up Brawl Stars? It could be fun, you know, let's get some extra stuff in there. What about hot potato? This sounds ridiculous. Every 15 seconds, a player gets a random hot potato. And after another 15 seconds are up, that hot potato explodes, dealing 2,000 damage. So it's not like an instant kill or anything. Like, you can still survive it if you're in a fine situation. But you can pass that hot potato to an enemy by hitting them with an attack. That could be pretty hilarious, honestly, just like hitting someone with a hot potato right before it explodes, or just passing it back and forth, thinking you passed it off, and then it comes back right at you. Hey, it could be fun. Remember healing mushroom? Well, basically, this is another version, weaponry area. In this case, instead of healing, it's different types of buffs, whether it's like damage or like reload speed, or it gives you a damage reduction, like, you know, in other words, a shield, so you take 20% less damage. Or even like other like debuffs. I think, you know, there's possibility with this. I mean, they did remove healing mushrooms for a reason, I guess, but hey, it could be fun. All right, but what about this? This is a pretty interesting idea. ×2 target bonus. In this case, everyone in solo showdown gets or even duos, whatever, you get a target, right? There's a brawler you're supposed to target. If you kill that brawler, they drop twice the amount of power cubes as they normally would. So it's not like you're getting more trophies, but still it could, you know, lead to it, whatever, you get stronger, which is cool. But the thing is, everyone has different targets. You don't know who's targeting you or who someone else is targeting, but if someone kills your target, whoever killed them becomes your next new target. So it could be an interesting twist. Okay, so can we please get some like small improvements to like map maker voting? I mean, like allowing us to see the full picture of the map when we're voting, because let's be real, sometimes you die really quickly and you just you can't like tell. And also, to be fair, can we get like the modifiers used too? Because again, sometimes the games were so quick, you just kind of didn't exactly realize everything that was going on. Oh, almost forgot, big announcement. Guys, I just signed a year-long contract with Facebook Gaming. Whoa, this is gonna be huge for my channel. It's gonna give me a lot of security and flexibility, but wait, don't worry, it's not gonna change anything at all for YouTube. I'm still gonna publish the same content, the same frequency on YouTube. It just means more content, and I'm gonna have it on Facebook Gaming. Basically, it's gonna be gameplay videos. So if you guys wanna see gameplay videos of me playing Brawl Stars and maybe even other games, you should check out my Facebook Gaming channel. I'll be publishing 20 videos a month over there, so definitely check it out. I'll put a link down below. All right, check it out. We got 2 posts and they're both suggesting pretty much the same improvements. So I think people generally agree that overall the Brawler like selection page UI kind of needs some improvements. Now that they added gears, it just looks a little bit cluttered. The gist of it is also, it would be nice to be able to see what we have left to unlock. It just feels like more natural, I guess, and like something to like kind of look forward to. Like when you're a level 9 brawler and it just looks like, oh, you have a gadget and a star power, you're good to go. But like, no, there's a lot more left to go. Just adding like, hey, you have stuff to unlock and like moving the power level down. It seems like people want it. Also, can we please get some like more useful and like maybe nice pins in Brawl Stars, like a GG pin? Can we get like a GG or like a WP for like well played? I mean, I feel like both of those, you know, people would buy that first of all, and it's just like friendly. Can't we just like positive emotions, stuff like that? Also, like useful pins like go forward or go back, or just like an up arrow or a down arrow, even just something to help us like communicate. I would definitely buy that too. Now, one thing we could definitely get in this next update is new gadgets. There's 14 brawlers who are still missing their second gadget. So let's go over what these gadgets could be that could actually come. All right, check out this gadget idea for Ash. First of all, he places down a trash can that has a little bit of health, and then when it gets destroyed, it gives nearby allies a damage boost for the next couple seconds. Kind of like how Spike's, you know, he throws down a spike with his gadget, and then when it gets destroyed, it heals nearby allies. It's just a damage boost instead. And personally, I always love like damage boosting type gadgets and like turret stuff. So yeah, let's do it. All right, now check out this gadget idea for Lola. First of all, when it's activated, Lola swaps places with her alter ego and vice versa. Now, not only do I think this is actually a really cool and great idea, but also it solves something that Supercell wants solved. Right now with Lola, everyone is just placing the shadow clone right behind her because it's just so much easier to aim and shoot when it's just in the exact same spot. You don't need to worry about if your clone is going to be accurate or not. I mean, there's also that star power which heals you if the clone's behind you, so that's kind of overpowered. But in this case, it might allow some extra different types of gameplay styles where you play that clone, not just right behind you. All right, now I thought this was a pretty cool idea for Amber. Basically, when Amber has her super, she can use that super to refill her ammo bar, and then her super is no longer charged whatsoever. So she's exchanging that super for a full ammo bar. However much ammo you had, you get all of it to full, which honestly for Amber would be a pretty solid idea, I feel like, and an interesting trade-off as well. Do you want that super you can throw over walls and get burning damage over a period of time, or a full ammo clip? All right, what about a surge gadget? It's kind of hard to replace a teleport gadget, but if we did, what about this? Side grade. In this case, he basically gets a temporary upgrade. He pretends he jumps when he does this gadget like he has a normal upgrade, and it gives him the benefits of whatever that next upgrade is, but it's temporary. It only lasts for like 5 seconds. I think that could be really cool. And honestly, with Surge, it's not maybe that bad because this would be really good for when you like just spawn. You know, Surge is really slow, and you go ahead, you use this gadget, all of a sudden you move really quickly, you can dodge so much easier, you can attack so much easier. This could be maybe viable. What about for Colette? Healing Heart. I really like this idea. Colette drops a heart from her scrapbook that heals friendly brawlers when they pick it up. So you can just put it on the ground, maybe it lasts for 30 seconds, or maybe just until you drop another one again. You have a teammate that runs along, picks it up, and they heal. I think that'd be really cool. And also, it's not like it would necessarily be overpowered. Like if an enemy sees that heart, they'll go, well, obviously an ally's gonna go to that spot. I can just shoot there. Or, you know, maybe they're wasting their ammo. Whatever, you can be strategic about it. Now, what about for Squeak? Kind of a interesting, weird idea, Saliva bubble. Basically, Squeak puts up a bubble. If there are any enemies in the bubble, their attack's projectile speed gets slowed down. Now, admittedly, the range is not like that long, so even though slowing down attack projectile speed is kind of overpowered, I think it might be fine in this scenario since it's not like that big of a range. It would at least be interesting. All right, check it out. Bibi, a gumball machine. I just kind of like this idea because there's a literal picture of a gumball machine, and shooting out Bibi bubbles just like randomly sounds kind of fun. Now in this case, it says it shoots it towards the closest enemy, and when it hits it, it pops, leaving a small sticky area. That could be cool. I don't like, as long as there's maybe a finite amount of like bubbles that can go out, like 1 to like 3 or something. For a gadget, I don't want it to be like a super level turret, you know? But to be honest, if it doesn't do damage and all it does is slow enemies down when it hits them, like maybe you could have an infinite amount possibly if it doesn't fire too often. All right, check out my favorite idea I found for a new brawler that, hey, Supercell sometimes takes inspiration for a lot of stuff on Reddit, so this could even be, you know, possible next new brawler in Brawl Stars. All right, so this brawler's name is Oliver, and they're a librarian. Honestly, I feel like Brawl Stars needs some more maybe adult-like figures to sort of calm the crazy kids down. I feel like there's a lot of irresponsible people in Brawl Stars. Okay, and listen to this. Oliver has some pretty interesting mechanics. First of all, his attack, it doesn't do like that much damage, right? 1240. But if that brawler has their super charged, this attack does 40% more damage. So situationally, you're gonna have to like improvise, like, okay, I really gotta use my super quickly, but then you might mess up your super, or if you're trying to be smart with it, you know, it could totally change the situation. Now, continuing along with that, a super is really interesting and unique as well. First off, it's a little small AoE bomb, right? It goes out, does a little bit of damage, 750, not much. It pushes them back as well, so if they're in the middle of something, interrupt them, which is like decent. But the main thing is, it silences brawlers. In other words, the silence, they can't use their super or their gadget, in this case for the next 4 seconds. That would be a unique mechanic that I think would be really cool. You gotta be really situational, like, oh, he's about to get a super, I better quickly use mine before he cancels me, or maybe your gadget or whatever, but like you could time it and just completely take over a battle depending on how this goes. His first star power for silence brawlers, right when you hit with your super, they get dealt some poison damage, basically. Not too crazy, but the next one, earmuffs, this one gives him a 1000 health shield and immunity to negative effects, like poison, being slowed or stunned, and he only has that immunity while the shield is active, and he only charges up that shield when he's full health. So kind of like how the shield gear works as well. Now, to be honest, maybe an extra 1000 health and immunity is kind of overpowered, but I just like the immunity part of that because, okay, Poco's second gadget gives you some sort of immunity to negative effects, but let's be real, that gadget really sucks. So making it like part of a brawler's kit, I think could be more interesting. But all right, check out his gadgets. His first gadget, Oliver goes invisible for a second, and then when he reappears, he knocks back any nearby enemies, kind of like the Jean and M's gadget pushes people back. I assume it's like that. Now, honestly, 1 second's not very long. Maybe if it was like 2 seconds, that could be a really cool sort of mini, like obviously 2 seconds is still not very long, so like even though they're invisible, you can maybe sort of guess where they're going, but I think that's sort of the point. It's like enough time to where you're kind of sure where they're going, but not 100%. Now his other gadget, Oliver actually silences himself, which is kind of crazy, for just 3 seconds, but it gives his next attack double the super charge rate, which is interesting, I think. All right, for Buzz. Now I know Buzz has an amazing gadget that gives him a super slightly worse, so it'd be hard to replace. But what about this? Buzz's next super gives him a 25% shield for the next 10 seconds. So it's kind of like the Edgar version. Edgar gets a shield or he gets a super. In this case, it's kind of similar, honestly, but I like this because I honestly don't know how many other ways you can sort of replace a free super. So you got to make the super better. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this, but for Jackie, this could be interesting. Jackie's next main attack breaks walls and it heals her for 250 health for every wall that she broke. Now the healing could be like solid for her, although I'm not sure I feel good about Jackie breaking walls because honestly she kind of thrives having walls since she can attack through them, and also she's a tank with high move speed, so she likes walls to hide behind and get close to enemies. So kind of awkward, but interesting. Now for Meg, instead of healing with her mech, in this case, for the next 5 seconds, she runs twice as fast, but she also loses health twice as fast. That poison tick damage she gets while she's in mech. So she loses health faster, which maybe isn't needed. You could just nerf how long the move speed is, but interesting option to go for move speed instead of the healing. All right, check out this post by Brunkernock. First of all, honestly, the clubs definitely need some improvements now that we have a club league. Like, first of all, it's so hard to find the club shop. Like, visiting that club shop, I feel like I click like 3 or 4 buttons. And like, once you figure it out, eventually it gets kind of easier, but it's still even pretty confusing. Please just put a button that goes straight to the club shop that just makes it easier. Also, to be honest, can we get like DMs, like personal messages in Brawl Stars? Make it like limited to only people on your friends list and only people in your club, right? That way randoms can't just like message you how bad you are, but only your friends. But like actually just like messaging someone, like being like, hey, like don't forget to do your attacks, because I feel like that would be kind of important and helpful, you know? Also, other good ideas like a leaderboard for Club League. Kind of obvious. I don't know why we don't have that yet, but okay, everyone's at the same, so I get it. But also like being able to sort by how many trophies people have gotten, so you can like, if you want to track the performance, know who to kick and who not to. Yeah, so stuff like that would be cool. Well, if you enjoyed this, check out more great ideas to improve Brawl Stars right over there that you might also enjoy. Thanks so much for watching this, and I'll catch you later. Peace.